Look at this schedule. By 2026, Zendaya is doing something unmatched in Hollywood history, starring in 5 massive entertainment projects in a single calendar year. From Euphoria and Dune to a new Christopher Nolan film, her workload is staggering. This level of demand seemed impossible to the traditional Hollywood power structure that once evaluated her. To them, she was a teenage girl from Oakland, a Disney kid who would likely disappear as soon as her show ended. Zendaya's childhood in Oakland, California, was actually defined by a paralyzing shyness. She was once so terrified of social interaction that simply speaking to strangers felt impossible. To cope, she spent her time at the California Shakespeare Theater, where her mother worked, watching actors from the wings. She studied their gestures and emotional cues as a way to understand how to connect with others. Performance became her primary tool for safety and internal strength. This grounded her work ethic in a mastery of the craft rather than a pursuit of fame, giving her a foundation that would outlast the typical child star life cycle. When she joined Disney Channel's Shake It Up in 2010, industry analysts assumed they had seen her peak. At the time, the network was widely viewed as a career ceiling that few actors ever managed to transcend. Behind the scenes of this sudden teen fame, she was training relentlessly. She treated the network as a training ground, obsessively studying acting, vocals, and dance to ensure she had the skills for a much larger stage. The industry pushback was specific. Insiders suggested her look was too niche for mainstream roles, and one executive went so far as to declare she would never be more than a Disney actress. She responded by expanding her demographic. At 16, she became the youngest contestant on Dancing with the Stars, using the national platform to prove she could compete and win over audiences far outside the Disney bubble. Being boxed in by the Disney Kid label became her permanent fuel. Every executive doubt was another reason to evolve, turning a perceived limitation into a catalyst for her next moves. In 2017, Marvel cast her as MJ in the Spider-Man franchise, a move that triggered a wave of skepticism across social media. Critics and fans questioned if she was the right fit for such a high-profile role. She didn't try to mimic previous versions of the character. Instead, she anchored the role with quiet intensity, immediately shifting the public narrative. Even as global fame exploded, she maintained strict boundaries. Keeping her relationship with Tom Holland private ensured to focus remained entirely on her professional output. 2 years later, she took a massive career gamble with HBO's Euphoria. It was a dark, raw drama about addiction, the kind of role that most former child stars would have avoided to protect their brand. She took the role of Rue Bennett to an extreme level of realism, speaking with people in recovery and researching the mechanics of trauma to ensure her performance was grounded in truth rather than melodrama. This dedication led to history. By winning the Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama twice by age 27, she took her place among the elite of the industry and effectively erased the Disney label. With television conquered, the industry began to wonder if she could hold her own in a massive cinematic epic like Denis Villeneuve's Dune. Her fierce performance anchored a global blockbuster, matching its massive scale. Mastering this franchise changed her Hollywood standing, proving she was a serious cinematic heavyweight. Challengers confirmed her range. Playing a complex, manipulative adult character like Tashi Duncan proved she could handle the high-stakes psychological nuances of sophisticated cinema. By dominating both prestige television and global cinema simultaneously, she proved that her artistic range is effectively limitless. This brings us back to that 2026 slate. 5 major projects in a year represents a level of industry demand that very few actors in history have ever reached. Zendaya reached this summit by remaining uncompromisingly herself, even as the industry typically tries to reshape talent to fit whatever trend is selling that week. She extends this control to her image, treating high fashion as a protective language of power. By collaborating closely on every red carpet choice with stylist Law Roach, she ensures her visual presence communicates her authority over her own brand. A specific mission drives these choices. She has been vocal about ensuring her career provides the representation she missed as a child, making sure young Black girls see themselves in elite, high-stakes stories. Her actual power is her refusal to let anyone else control her narrative. Whether it's her roles, her image, or her privacy, she is the sole architect of her own career path. So, what can we learn from the girl from Oakland who became a global icon? While many point to talent or luck, those are common in Hollywood. Her real mechanism was a persistent refusal to accept the limitations others tried to impose on her from the very beginning. She looked the industry in the eye and forced them to believe in who she was, rather than who they wanted her to be. When you have the courage to believe in your own potential before anyone else sees it, the world eventually has no choice but to follow your lead. If Zendaya's story gave you a new perspective today, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the people defining our culture. Comment below, who inspires you to define your own ceiling? I read every response. See you in the next video.